Hello and welcome to Senior Art Strokes. Today I'm going to start a series of about 3 or 4 videos on how we can paint the illusion of water or draw water because it's an illusion, but we have there are so many different water effects we see out in nature, and we need to really learn in order to to advance and get better and be happy with what we do, especially if we live around water. We like to do that stuff. So this is going to be the very first one. It takes place where we used to live before we moved here to this house. A beautiful complex, and I had this beautiful pond, and this came from that pond. It was kind of like a still water, moving a little bit, but mostly still. So that's what this video is all about. For more videos, visit my channel, Senior Art Strokes. You'll find a lot more tutorials. And here, let's go and do water. Thumbs up, like, subscribe, great. Let's go. Welcome to Senior Art Strokes. I'm Angel Mercado. Today we're going to start a series of about 3 or 4 videos about art tutorials, drawing tutorials about water reflections. How do we go about painting water? This scene I just did it earlier, just to the above part, so I don't have to make this tutorial so long. It's from a place where we used to live, and we had a beautiful pond there, and the reflections were always nice. So that's what we're going to do today. And I'm going to start first with a 2B pencil, and pretty much what I'm going to do, I'm just going to outline. You see this, the edge of this bridge kind of comes down like this. Just put a line, just like markings, kind of like to remind myself about where these marks are. The tallest, darks about here, and they go pretty much all the way here. So that is what I'm going to do first, and then after that I'm just going to make the bridge, the round of the bridge, and of course going to be a little bit darker also underneath, and we're going to go and pretty much outline the bridge. Remember, this is water, so it's almost like you're looking into a mirror. It's going to pretty much translate everything that's above. Is going to reflect on the the water, of course. And we don't need to be very tight to this because it's water. Even though this was a very calm day, the water wasn't moving much, but still it's not going to be crispy clear. So we are just going to do that. That will be plenty. Usually the rules is whatever is lighter above is going to show up a little bit darker down below, and whatever is dark above is going to show a little bit lighter. It's going to reflect. So here I'm just going straight up and down with my number 2 pencil, and at this time I'm putting very little pressure. If you have watched some of my videos, you know that I don't like to add a lot of pressure, especially at the beginning. That way we can experiment, we can try different things, and we don't have to worry about doing something wrong where we might regret later on, and it will be very difficult to erase. So that's what I'm doing. That's my first pass. This is going to be darker than what it is. There. Very light. I'm going to go across here, kind of like right behind the bridge. The land pretty much stopped there, and it goes on. The creek went on to about here, so we'll do that. And the same thing here. We have this shadows, and we're going very light and I'm using my reference lines here just to make sure I'm not going to go, you know, too far down this way where it's not going to meet with the, you know, the the shape above. So that is one thing we have to be kind of cautious about it. Sometimes it's nice to leave a little bit of a lighter edge along the where the water meets with the ground. So I'll try to do that. It is all up and down. This is not the only way to do it. This is the way I do it. This is the way that I'm used to do it. This is the way that works for me. Place the horizon line higher than in the middle, of course. That way we can showcase our reflections a lot better. And now I'm going to go across. And I'm just taking my time. I enjoy sketching, so when I sketch, I kind of like to take my time. That way I can get really a full enjoyment out of every single sketch I do, because I love this activity. Same thing here over the bridge. We're going to go and do these horizontal lines. So this is kind of like our mid-tone. That's what we're applying. It's just a mid-tone to the paper, which means we had to go a little bit darker to get, the darker reflections on the ground. Here's the other side of the ravine of the pond. And here also I'm just going to end it up like this in an angle. And I'm just going to follow the contour of the land. Pretty flat here, so it's going to end up about there. Okay, when you do reflections, whatever is close to us, those lines are going to be longer. As we go back, these lines will be less obvious, of course, and there will be shorter strokes because, perspective, aerial perspective tells us that. That's what it shows us. Here I'm going to do the same thing a little bit more in the bridge. All of this done with the 2B pencil. I haven't changed yet. Here I'm going to darken this a little bit more, make it more ruggedy because there are grasses, and the ground is uneven here. So we'll build this up a little bit more as we go along. But I never like to work in just one place. I just kind of like to skip around and go, try to cover the whole area. See how things are working. Here we have this tree. We're going to kind of go like this. Here we have this tree, we have another one. So now we pretty much have an idea where the shadow, or where the reflections, from the above trees are going to go, how far they go into the water, how close they'll come to this edge. Okay, so having done that, what I'm going to do now, well, see, this looks too squarish here to me. It's always kind of like nice to try to make it as organic as you can, not too many straight lines, because in nature that's how it is. We don't see a lot of, especially when it comes to trees, you're not going to see a solid straight line, even if the tree trunks are going to be drawn a little bit different. Okay, so there we go. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my 6B pencil and I'm going to start going darker now. Okay, we have this big tree here, has a nice reflection in it, and it's a little bit brighter than the rest of it, so I'm just going to leave it like this. Here we have this kind of like dark reflections, so I'm just going to try to put those in there. Same thing here. We're going to start darkening this. This is number 6, so this pencil can go a lot darker. Of course, the bridge is going to be, when I look at the reflection of the bridge, it's going to be a little bit lighter than the trees in the background, so I'm just going to skip that area where the bridge is at, and I'm going to start darkening. And I know I could go darker with my number 6, but like I said, I always like to go through steps. As if you go dark right away, then you have kind of like a flat area that is very hard to know. It takes more work to manipulate to make it look more believable. Okay, so same thing, I'm going to start going here. You see, I'm kind of like trying to define the brightness of this tree here, and here we have these dark lines, dark tones. Okay, now these lines are going to become a little more visible. Like I said, they'll be longer. And what I did here, I like to do a little bit of this, kind of like think about somebody just threw a rock and it's making a nice little waves. Here this is going to look a little bit darker than the background here because it's way out there, so it's not going to reflect a whole lot of darkness here. It's going to be more like the bridge reflecting. And all of the strokes are straight up and down. Here, the bottom of the bridge, we're going to see, I'm going to define this a little bit more, to about there. Just seeing a little bit of the bottom of the bridge, and here we are just going to go kind of zigzag all the way around like this, you see, kind of to show the bottom of the bridge that's reflecting. And I'm still pretty light. I can go a lot darker if I want to with this pencil. Of course it's a 6B, but I choose not to. I choose just to go soft because I want to make ripples later on top of this. I want them to show, and I want to show, you know, like I said, like the aerial perspective better. And I'm going to go straight up and down. Just stop, check and see how it's looking. If you think it's looking okay, just keep on going. See where you might want to make it a little bit darker, where you need to put a little more emphasis on the lines. And be careful not to make any patterns when you do this. That's why I'm kind of going up and downs, and I go in different directions because I don't want to create a pattern like showing straight lines to, you know, harsh lines. Then they don't really, they shouldn't be there. Also this tree, I'm going to make the base a little bit darker than what is here. To make it show better, I can make the ones in the back dark also. And I'm going to make these little waves a little bit darker also. And here, you see, here where it's already dark, I just go with my pencil and really make these lines a little bit darker, just make them stand more. This trees, the tree trunk is going to show a little bit more here. It's going to go beyond there. Same thing here. So now I'm going to go darker under the bridge. Same thing here. Define the bridge more by darkening the trees in the background. And of course none of the wire is going to be white, so I'm just going to go across very light. I'm still using number 6 for this, and I'm not changing. There. This part of the bridge should be a little bit darker than the background there, so and I don't worry about filling everything up because there is a little bit of light coming through those boards there, so I don't have to be worried too much about that. Now putting the reflection from this background here, just not all over but in some areas. There. Okay. And now I'm going to come and darken this foreground a little bit. That looks to, even though this is sunny, but it's still going to have, more, going to be a little bit darker than what it is. Here you can create the illusions of grasses, weeds growing up like this. And drawing from the distance, I always like to move a little bit away from the drawing just to see how it appears from the distance, because that's when you know how the drawing is going to read. When from the distance you can see it, there's looking like it belongs there, this marker we're making, then you know we're doing good. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get my eraser, and I have to warm it up. I've been playing with this one, so it's already warm, and I'm going to make some nice very chisel edge like point, you see. And here on the shadow side I'm going to create these little ripples, illusions of ripples. And you don't have to do this if you don't want to. This is kind of like to give it a little more character to it, a little more interest, instead of just having one solid dark, mass like that. And now we are just going to go and just here and there just add a little bit of a illusion on the water, has some kind of movement. A little bit of the reflection on the tree, not a lot, just enough to to tell the viewer that there's a tree there, tree trunks. You see, it doesn't have to be too obvious to straight or anything like that. I'm just going to darken a little bit more this area, maybe just even darken it a little bit more. Shadows from the trees, defining them more. This area should be a little bit darker too, because it's not going to get a lot of sun, so we're going to define this line more. And pretty much we got our water reflection on a pond. There's where the water is moving, but it's moving slow. So there you go. Now you know how you can attempt to make the illusion of water moving across, this pond. Here I'm going to define this line a little bit more. I find it too close to there should be more. Usually it's always darker below the trees. There are some tree trunks there, so I'm going to darken them there. And start creating a little darker tones on top too. That way they can relate to the reflections on the water. This one here needs to be, I want it to have a little bit darker. This kind of like a focal point, so there, and darken this a little bit more. There we go. And remember, keep it organic. Just try not to make it too straight. Still, the bridge should be a little bit darker than what it is on top. Maybe we have a little bit of reflection right here on top of the bridge. The sun is hitting a little bit of the top of the bridge, so I'm going to put that in there, just on this one end. Okay, so here's our first video about water reflections. Remember to squint your eyes. Squint your eyes. When you squint your eyes, you can really see what's going on there as far as values. You can see and judge them so much easier when you squint your eyes. It's a good practice to have to get used to do. Now I have some other videos you can watch about water. I've done many around water, so please go look at them, see if you can do them, and like I said, let me know if there's something else, something specific you might be looking forward to doing, and you'll be interested in watching, and then we'll see if we can do it. So have a great day. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up, of course, like, and till next time. Goodbye.